The title of this episode is Look Up at the Stars. It's approaching midnight on Monday, January 6th, I want to say. I'm standing outside. I told myself I was not going to have another cigarette today. But then I went and checked Facebook, and somebody had posted something about some weird orange orbs being spotted in the sky in another area in Florida, followed by a military arrangement of some kind. So that was an excuse enough for me to come outside and have what is now going to become 2 more cigarettes today. But it got me to thinking, as I'm standing out here on the driveway, staring up. You don't really see people looking at the stars too much. There is a good while, this is a year or so, where my wife and I, and our good friend Jeff would go through a half a pack of cigarettes just standing in the driveway or the backyard or the back porch, just staring up at the sky like we were waiting for something, like we were willing something to happen. Oh, I thought I saw that one move. Oh, did you guys see that? Ah, shit, nope, that was a plane. Things like that. Between 20 minutes of silence and talking about all the possibilities of what could be out there. Endless possibilities, depending on who you speak to. But I guess why I ran inside and grabbed the recorder and felt compelled to come back out here and do an episode tonight, as I'm standing under a bright 3/4 moon in a completely clear sky. You could see all the stars, and as my eyes are acclimating more and more to the darkness, they're just popping up. It's so funny how self-centered we are, or at least I could be. Oh my god, there's so many that just showed up right there. Like, that's a perfect example. Like, you think the stars showed up. And it's really just, no, asshole. Your eyes just realized they were there. The sun rose for me today. Nope. No, it didn't. Sun stayed right where it was. Didn't move. Depending on who you ask. Anyway, so the reason why I ran inside and grabbed the recorder was to just say, look up at the sky. Go outside, have a cigarette, bring a cup of hot chocolate or something, a cup of hot tea. I'm not really a blanket person. I don't really like to sit down and look up at the stars, or sit on the ground, I should say. I guess if there was a nice swing out here, I'd definitely be doing that. Or I don't know. I don't like to be distracted by the thought of what could be crawling on me. So I guess I prefer to be either sitting down in a lounge position or just standing looking up like a crazy person as I'm doing right now. But however you would feel most comfortable doing it, just do it. It's so nice. It doesn't really matter where you are. I mean, I know city lights come into play. I've had the great fortune of seeing the sky from the middle of nowhere in Colorado for the first time in my life 2-3 years ago. And it's like, it was mind-blowing. But even right here in West Side Jacksonville, not too far from the airport and not far from the city, and I mean, there's a floodlight to my left and a floodlight to my right, and porch lights on everywhere, and you can kind of see the white haze of the city surrounding the horizon, trying to creep into the night sky. But even out here, you stand out here long enough, and it's, I mean, awe-inspiring is an accurate word for this, if you really take a moment to take it all in. I mean, we are a fucking ball floating, and science nerds and people that know more than I are probably going to fucking scoff and laugh, but just indulge me for a few minutes, please, because I'm not trying to be scientifically accurate here. I am a little boy in wonder, looking up at this amazing, big, great, wide open, and I'm a little boy smoking a cigarette. I'm just looking up at these stars, and it makes me consider what we are on, what we're standing on, and where we're at. Especially when you look at the moon, and you see the moon just sitting up there, seemingly resting above us, even though it's, going around us. But, it's like just sitting up there, floating above us. This huge-ass fucking thing, glowing, reflecting, whatever, shining down, and like it doesn't, and all the stars that are so far away, so far away, that are as big as our sun, but they're so far away that they look like a pin dot in the sky poking through. All that out there, like how far, like you could see into the, is it the past or the future? You could see through time. You could see through time. You're looking at something that's in a different time. That's insane. It's so clear tonight. You could see the craters and the spots on the moon. It is so big, and it seems like everything seems still, like when you stand here and look at it. I remember when we'd stand out for like hours at a time and watch, it would feel like, you could actually see, things move across the sky. It seems like it's going really, really slow. Another cool thing to do is, just while I'm thinking about it, if there's trees or power lines or like the roof of your house or, when you're looking up, use things like that as points of reference so you can track the movement, and kind of makes it a little bit more interesting too. And full transparency, I just love staring up at the sky. I read a lot of Richard Dawkins. Any science posts that are about the universe or shows about the universe I watch and read, but I have terrible retention of anything that I take in. I just constantly absorb and, well, I guess I shouldn't say absorb, I constantly consume, and I don't know where it goes, but it's fun consuming. But I say that to say that I'm looking up here. I don't know the constellations. I don't know. I couldn't tell you what's what. All I'm talking about is the wonder. It's the wonder of what could be. That a site like this inspires. And going back to what I was saying, just looking at it right now, it looks like it's completely still. But we're going so fucking fast. And I resort to just saying so fucking fast because I can't tell you the exact speed that we're flying through space. But trust me, so fucking fast is inaccurate description to describe the speed at which we're flying through space. But we're standing here still and looking up. It just I'm getting down to the butt of the cigarette. And I got 20 minutes left on this pretty cool documentary about I can't remember what it's called. Again, going back to the memory retention. Rathborn. No. The fuck is it? I literally was just watching it. Well, I think it's the documentary is called Enlighten Us. It's about famous or semi-famous, I guess. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it's about. It's a good documentary. The subject of the documentary is really intriguing. I got 20 minutes left of that, and I'm coming down to the butt of the cigarette. I don't want to light another one, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. But I just wanted to say, take in the night sky every once in a while. Try to make a habit out of it, but take it in every once in a while. Have some quiet time with the stars. Just look up at the stars and think about how small you are and how big and endless the possibilities of everything is. And you're a part of that. Alright, fuck it. I'm lighting another cigarette. I'm sorry. And forgive me, because I just watched a documentary about a charismatic, borderline occult leader, so here we go. Strap in. So here's what I think about when I look up at the stars. And I'm going to try and knock this out in the length of one last cigarette as midnight strikes. And I have seen a little bit of movement up here. Not nearly enough to illustrate how fucking fast we are flying through a big infinite darkness. Nothingness. Not even darkness, just nothingness. Well, not nothingness. God, I'm probably driving science geeks crazy. I kind of got the same feeling when I stood at at like the edges of mountainsides on like really high points, like at Black Canyon in Colorado, and looking down and peering out, kind of the same feeling as looking up at the sky, especially at night, because at night is when you can, during the day you got the clouds, you got the blue backdrop, and it feels smaller. It feels like it's within a frame. But the fucking frame breaks open when the night pours upon us, and you see how big it all is, and you can look out how far it goes, and it's beyond what you can see, and beyond that. And that's like, who knows how far it goes? Like, who knows? So I guess some people would claim to know how far the universe goes, but how far space itself goes, and where we sit in all of that, where we're heading, where we're coming from, what happened before the Big Bang, if the Big Bang is even the plausible theory. I guess it's plausible at this time, but science is always disproving itself. That's why it's so awesome. So, like, that's what I think about when I look up, is we are so small and we know nothing. I mean, honestly, you can't confidently think that we are 100% sure of anything if you've looked back and seen how many times we've proven ourselves wrong. How many times we've been so sure of ourselves and we have to backtrack. I'm not comfortable ever saying that I'm 100% sure of anything. I'm not comfortable ever discounting any possibility 100%. Even the idea of God. And when you look up at the stars, that's exactly why anything is possible. As the moon hangs above our head. Yes, I said hangs above our head, anything is possible. But it makes you feel so small, but big at the same time, because I don't want to get all like metaphysical or whatever, I don't know, but like the saying, we are all made of star stuff, or whatever the hell it is. Like, even if you don't understand the science of that, which I don't, couldn't tell you the molecules or cells or whatever the fuck that makes us up, that is also in the stars. Star stuff is a great way to describe it. Fits my vocabulary and mindset perfectly. So I'm happy with star stuff and just leaving it at that. So let's just leave it at that. But it doesn't matter if you know what it means. And you stand out here, or at least when I stand out here and I look up and I take it all in, I could feel that connection where it's such a conflict of, not even a conflict, it's a perfect balance. You stand here and not in the center of it, but I mean, from your perspective at any given time, where I'm standing right now, this is the center for me. But you stand here and you look up and it makes you feel so small. But then you feel this strange connection to it all, to the big picture, where I don't know, there's something more to it. there's just something more to it. I think it's all right there in the stars. That we're fucking, I feel like I'm right on it, but I just can't touch it. And right there, I'm at the end of the cigarette again. So it's just something like that, man. It's just something like that. It's like, it's infinitely big, and we are so small in comparison. But at the same time, watch I Heart Huckabees. It's a blanket. It's a big blanket. We're all a part of it. We're all threats. Alright, that's it. Just look up at the stars. It's pretty. Have a good night.